All right, morning. We're back at Sports Car Workshops with the Rovers. Got a whole bunch of SUVs in here this week. It's more like truck shop instead of sports car. But we've got the black 88. I'm gonna attempt to change the oil. Here's what you need to change the oil in a Classic. A big 28 wrench for the oil pan nut filter, something to get the filter off. Got it on a charger. This is a pretty easy oil change, but the location of the drain plug is kind of a pain in the ass due to the exhaust manifold, or the exhaust line there. So we're gonna break that loose, pull this off, and drain it out. Too bad. Actually doesn't look terrible. Well, thanks. All right, got the oil all changed out, about 5 minutes. Tighten it back up, check the level. I got the new Land Rover filter in there. It came with the truck. 28's all plugged up, just checking for leaks. This motor does sound really good. You know, there's no ticking, knocking, or anything like that. It runs really smooth. Just got to make sure the battery keeps charged up here. I haven't really fully charged it up since I've had it. And even, you know, it's the first time I've really spent a good amount of time under here. And, you know, everything's still pretty tight. It is rusty, but it's mostly, you know, body related. The frame is in pretty good condition. And now we've got some new blood in her. Let's see how she likes that. Take it out for a spin. Yeah, just working on the small stuff. Might try to hit this paint up, see how it buffs out a little bit. You know, see how much of it is salvageable. But yeah, just a good Saturday morning investment. You know, we always get these old trucks and sometimes run them on the old oil, but this one, with being so low mileage, I kind of wanted to update the fluids and make sure we're good to go to tool around in it. Next thing we're gonna do, try to get the radio working again. I put the wrong code in, so I have to reset that, but not a terrible start to the day. All right, it's been a while since I've done a Rover update as well. The Zebra Classic is still here. We were in the process of doing the fuel pump, and we realized that it still won't crank, so we rebuilt the starter. We brought the starter to get rebuilt, and found out there's nothing wrong with the starter. So, you know, we're probably tracking some type of electrical starter related wiring issue or something to kind of get that one, you know, at least running. You know, we'd like to at least get this one running before we mess with it anymore. It is it's rusty, but it's not as terrible as some of these are. Honestly, it's another 88, so, you know, the components, we've got the parts truck if there is some greater issues with it, but this is you know, it's on the list. We'll get to it eventually, but right now it's still just pending a little more effort and troubleshooting, but it's on the list. The parts truck 88 is still here. Haven't done a whole lot with this or robbed much parts on it. Depending on what the other one will need, we'll probably sell it as is. I'd love to get it running, but it's the ignition is a little bit wonky on this one. We'd have to get a new tumbler or something. Oh yeah, she's nice in here. Yeah, the tumbler just spins. We'd have to rig something up to make that one at least crank if it didn't need anything. But you know, it's a shame this one rolled. I didn't realize initially, but it's a slick top, which is pretty neat. But yeah, we'll see what parts we salvage off this one. Obviously, she's a little beat up, but it's an interesting truck. So we'll If not for parts, we'll do something with it. Taking it for the test drive. Everything seems pretty normal. The only thing that this Rover does, this 88, that my others don't, is, you know, I had a scare about a minute ago, which I probably should have filmed, but the temp gauge went all the way, not into the red, but all the way up, and stayed there for about 45 seconds and came back down. I don't know if that is like a cold start warm-up cycle or something that it does, or, you know, it's not, obviously it's not overheating. You know, it's got no signs, symptoms, noises. Engine bay is nice and cool. Auxiliary fan, I don't know if this one has it, but the fan clutch is nice and tight, but it did get hot and then come right back down. So I'd be interested to know what that was, because obviously now it's fine. But yeah, she's humming along now. I mean, this is probably the most miles I put on her. I probably put about 7 miles on it so far after the new oil change. Didn't want to get too crazy before I changed oil, but she's running nice. The EFI light's not on anymore. Just have to work on, I guess that's a coolant level sensor or something that's probably dirty. Clean that off and keep messing with it a little bit later. Give her some power. No crazy vibrations or anything. Not quick, but feels nice and tight. All right. So I got a little bored and tried to get creative with the buffing wheel. Picked up some of this 3D compound. I don't know, I had good reviews on Amazon, so I said let's give it a whirl. So look, I hit these two panels in the door. Obviously this peeling clears on it, come out great, but comparison wise, that's not terrible. The next will kind of be the hood. See if any of this will come up right. I mean, I'm sure it'll come up a little bit, but not to any extent. So, you know, again, the paint's not so great, so I can't hurt anything at this point. So anything I can make it look better from this point on is a bonus, in my opinion. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously there's a lot of clear coat missing there as well, but not terrible for about 15 minutes of work. It's a great color black, and in comparison, you can see what the other side looks like. We'll mess with that one next. Here's another quick tip video. I accidentally, after the battery died on this 88 black truck, went to input the code again, and I did it wrong. So I actually have the original manuals for pretty much everything to do with this truck, which again, I find is pretty wild. Here's the handwritten note on how to do it, but it's missing one key component on how to reset if you put it in correctly. So page 1 for this operating system, hold the BND band button until it resets. And I did that, and it works. It's not on at the moment, but that's because I don't want to run into copyright claims. But yeah, so if you're ever having issues with your stock Range Rover radio, that's how you do it. And if you need anything, let me know, since these manuals are actually quite helpful.